It's time to make some sourdough discard crackers. Get yourself a baking sheet and some parchment paper. For our seasonings, we're going to add in some fennel, basil, oregano, thyme, and rosemary. 1 cup of sourdough discard to 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Let's add that right into our mix. I'm also going to add in our cheese, and this is about half a cup or so of freeze-dried cheese, and I did crunch it up. And I am going to add a little bit of some sun-dried tomato. Now we're going to get this stirred up better. We're going to lay this on our parchment and spread it nice and thin. And we've got it nice and thin. Heat your oven to 325. I have a lot of sourdough discard to use up, so our second batch is our 1 cup of the discard, 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We're going to add something a little different. I'm going to use the same spices, the fennel, the oregano, the basil, and forget what else is in there. Some tomatoes, and we're going to sprinkle in some, yeah, I know what this is, crushed red pepper. And instead of the cheddar cheese that I used before, we're going to add in some mozzarella, and I'm going to sprinkle that on top. So let's get this mixed up first. Suppose it would help if I get you in frame. Okay, we got it all mixed up. We're going to pour it on our parchment. We're going to spread this nice and thin. We're going to top it with that mozzarella instead of adding it in. And then, I forgot to tell you on the last batch, I'm going to do 3 batches today. And the other batch, I did go ahead and sprinkle a pinch or so of salt on the very top. So it's not just all herbs, but there is a little bit of extra flavor with the salt. Pretty thin. I'm just going to go to the edge of the parchment. All right, and our mozzarella. And that's just going to melt as it bakes. Pretty colorful. And I'd say this is about a half of a cup of mozzarella. And I think this is going to go great with some hummus that I plan on making up in a little bit here. Okay. Top it with that salt. Okay. Let's get those 2 in the oven. You want to bake those for 5 minutes at 325, and then we'll take them out and score them with whatever cutter you have. I have a pizza cutter. Well, I just checked the pans, and they're a little too liquidy to poke or score, so we're just going to leave them in for a little bit longer. And I did a quick score job with my pizza cutter. For the 3rd batch, we're going to change it up a bit and add just, I think, some everything bagel seasoning and some shredded mozzarella cheese. I did go ahead and change up my pan because I needed a bigger pan because the ones that are in the oven are thick in the middle. So we want to spread this out as best we can. So that tells me my edges of my crackers in the oven are going to be more browned or maybe even burnt than hopefully these. Let's see, I think I'll sprinkle this on as we go. So we'll just get you in view here. Get this poured on here. And then we will sprinkle in that everything, or on top to sprinkle the everything bagel seasoning. We'll sprinkle on the shredded mozzarella, and we'll also add our pinch of salt. So this pan is much bigger. And you see some specks of stuff in here. That's because one of my mixing tools did not come completely clean, but it's not like it's contaminated or anything. It's just from the other batches that I did. So this should come out a lot better because of the pan size. So I'm going to try to get it from the middle to the edges much better. And I did score those. And they did kind of peel away a little bit where it is really thick. But no worries. Okay. I think that might work. sprinkle on our everything bagel seasoning. However much you might like. And we're going to top it with that shredded cheese, and then once again, a pinch or so of salt. I'm sure the mozzarella will have a flavor of extra salt in it, and that's no big deal to me. I guess I don't want to put in too much because I want this to melt, but I don't want it to be too thick of the cheese. All right, we'll get this in the oven as soon as the other ones are out. Well, they're done. These are the mozzarella, and you can see these are a little bit puffy, but they're still crispy, so that's good. I'll show you the cheddar cheese. They're right here, and these got done nice and brown, and I think that's because of the cheddar cheese. I have the other ones with the everything bagel seasoning in the oven. I did turn my oven up to 350 because this took quite a long time, and they taste rather fantastic, so we'll give it a taste test in just a moment. Tastes like a pizza cracker. Just enough salt. Plenty of crunch. The flavor. Now these are the mozzarella. Nice and crunchy, herby. And I know that there's red pepper flakes in here. So a little bit of heat too. These are going to be great on some hummus or whatever you have. Ooh! That last one did have a bite of the hot pepper. This is the cheddar cheese with the herbs and tomato. Now that, more of a pizza flavor. I think it had to do with the cheddar cheese. Very flavorful, yummy, crunchy. Can't wait to taste the everything bagel. And they're done. The everything bagel topping with the salt and the cheese. Oh, they are fabulous. I never thought I'd be a fan of the everything bagel topping, but slightly chewy, crispy, much thinner than the other ones, and the flavor is wonderful. I hope you give this recipe a try. If you don't have any starter, find somebody that does. Get some from them. I bet they'll even give it to you for free. These are fabulous. Hope you like the recipe.
Darling, stay tuned for the roasted red pepper hummus recipe.
We're going to make some roasted red pepper hummus. With our blender, we're going to take a can of already drained garbanzo beans, also known as chickpeas. We're just going to add them to our blender. And this is a 15-ounce can. Then I'm going to take one roasted red pepper. Did that tonight on the stove. And all I did to do that was take a bell pepper and I put it into a cast iron pan. I did not add anything to the pan. It was completely bare. And I put that over the hot flame and let that crisp up all over the place. It did take a while and I was fine with that. So that is, and then I peeled the skin off of it. Okay, so that is our one roasted red bell pepper. We have I need a spatula. We have 1/3 cup of tahini, and it's nice and creamy. I'm going to get that all in. And if your tahini gets hard and separated, just put it into another container, like some jar, something you can get it in a stick blender. And just get it all out of the container, and then use your stick blender and get that all nice and creamy. It does work. I had to do that tonight. I didn't do it, but my better half did. We've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And you want to try and get as good of an olive as you can find. Not always easy. We've got 2 tablespoons or so of freshly squeezed, let's see if I can get you in the view here, lemon juice. We're going to add everything right in here. And I've got a good tablespoon of garlic that was already cut up because, well, that's just the way it's going to be. And I like a lot of garlic in mine. All right, and I do have some water on the side here in case I should need it. And we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt all over the floor. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt and The water that I have is about 5 tablespoons of water. And just in case I need it, I don't know if I will, we are going to be putting some olive oil over the top of the hummus when it's done. And we'll sprinkle some paprika in with it. It's smoked paprika. And this should give it a really good flavor with the roasted red pepper. Never done that before. Alright, so let's start by blending this up, and we're going to get this nice and smooth. Look at that. We're going to get it into a container. And this is my hummus. I've got it in my container. We're going to pretend that this container is not dirty, but I don't even care because I've had enough. It's been a long day, and it's time to eat this up. So we're going to take some olive oil, and we're just going to pour it over the top. And then we're going to put a little bit of smoked paprika in the middle. And you could add, chili peppers, crushed red peppers if you wanted instead. And then we're just going to stir it up a little bit and dip it in the, actually we're going to dip our sourdough crackers that I made earlier today in it. So we're going to get this recipe a try in just a moment. Just get this stirred up a little bit. And yum. It tastes really good already with the roasted red pepper that we added and the garlic. I've made this a couple times before, and I actually added way too much garlic. I don't know how you could ever have way too much garlic, but it was. Okay. Look at that. Pretty thick. You can make this thinner or thicker. And let's have a taste test. The texture is really smooth. Just that little bit of a slight graininess. The roasted red pepper tastes awesome in there. And the garlic. Gotta have another taste. And I will say that these crackers are fabulous. This is the everything bagel with some, I think it was mozzarella cheese and salt on top. Fabulous. Hope you make yourself some hummus. Nice packed with protein. All these crackers taste fabulous in here. I'm never going back to regular store-bought crackers. Oh, Shazam. I forgot to add a good serving of some garlic on top of our hummus. Yes, gotta have a little extra dollop on top. You can mix that in, or you can just dip into it. These are fabulous. Wonderful. Those especially.